All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, last year, the Los Angeles Dodgers saw their 8-year run as National League West champs end at the hands of the San Francisco Giants. But it was not a typical year in the NL West as the Dodgers won 106 games. This gives you an idea of how good the Giants were last year. This season, though, the Dodgers, they're in the process of restoring order, if you will, in the West, as at nearly the halfway point of this season, they have the best record in the National League, while they also have a 12 and a half game cushion on the Giants, who are in third place this year. And they've also been able to hold off the San Diego Padres, who are 6 games back and in second place behind Los Angeles. Now, Los Angeles has won 9 out of their last 10 games, which was kickstarted last weekend when they took 3 out of 4 from home versus the aforementioned Padres. The Dodgers, they still have one of the deepest lineups in baseball. When you think about the likes of Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman, just to name a few, but then their pitching has been so great this year. Tony Gosselin is 11-0. Tyler Anderson is 9-1, and then a guy like Clayton Kershaw is still Clayton Kershaw. And you think about this Giants lineup, pardon me, the Dodgers lineup. At some point, they're going to get Walker Bueller back. Of course, he's out after having surgery to remove that bone spur. It was a 10 to 12 week recovery, so it's probably going to be around September when he's back, and that's going to be just in time for the postseason rush for the Dodgers. But I expect the Dodgers to be buyers at the trade deadline. Would not surprise me to see them get some bullpen help because at the end of the day, do you really trust Craig Kimbrell in the ninth inning? He's been shaky so far this year for the Dodgers. He was shaky in the past with both the White Sox and the Cubs. He was shaky with the Boston Red Sox. He hasn't really been the dominant Craig Kimbrell that we've known since his time with the Atlanta Braves. Dave Roberts continues to be Dave Roberts as far as being the manager of this club, and that's important because the Dodgers, they have had some bumps in the road so far this season. Getting swept at home at the hands of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They were dominated at home in a series against the Philadelphia Phillies, but then they went and returned the favor, went to the East Coast to Philadelphia and took care of business against the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. So it's like, it's the highs and the lows that you deal with this team. But for the most part, they have still, with all of that said, they've withstood it. They're still the best team in the West, and they still have the best record in the National League. The Dodgers, I know that the Padres are, expected to get Fernando Tatis Jr. back at some point, but it's still the Padres. And no offense to them, but the Padres always find a way to come up short in those critical moments. So I think advantage Dodgers. The Giants are not as strong as they were last year, which we've seen, and I talked about it earlier today. But with that said, I think the Dodgers, this is once again their division to lose. So you look at it, I know it's a 6 game lead right now, but I don't see the Padres being able to overtake the Dodgers long term and win this division this year. So, you're thinking about 9 out of 10 for the Dodgers. But obviously, when you're the Dodgers and when you're their fan base, it's what comes down to what you can do in October. To me, they are the Yankees of the National League. They've been like that for a long time. The Dodgers are a historic franchise in Major League Baseball in all of sports. Obviously, they just don't have the amount of hardware that a team like the Yankees does. But with that said, the Dodgers are still very formidable. So the Dodgers have once again put themselves in position to win the West. They are going to win the West. And of course, as always, they have their sights on what damage they can do in the month of October. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line to be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.